Waitress exposed hidden talent. Translated in seconds, she received a life-changing $50,000. Mia stood behind the counter at Rosie's diner, her heart racing like the flickering neon sign outside. It was a typical bustling afternoon, the scent of sizzling bacon mixed with the constant clinking of plates, laughter, and hurried chatter. Most customers saw her as just another waitress. But Mia was more than that. She was a daughter, a sister, a dreamer. Juggling 2 jobs to care for her ailing mother and her younger brother weighed heavily on her shoulders. Every sacrifice felt like a stone added to her burden, but she held tight to her dreams like they were lifebuoys in a sea of responsibility. That day, the diner's doors swung open, and a group of laughing tourists filled a large booth. They animatedly discussed plans for the rest of their trip when an elderly veteran sitting near them caught Mia's attention. He shared heartwarming tales of courage and sacrifice, his voice carrying the weight of countless stories. As Mia poured their coffee, she overheard snippets of their conversation. Suddenly, curiosity bubbled inside her. Mia, who had spent years honing her ability to speak multiple languages predominantly to better serve diverse customers, felt a jolt of inspiration. As the conversation about bravery and humanity unfolded, she couldn't help but chime in to translate for the veteran, hoping to bridge the gap of understanding. "Can you believe we're hearing this?" one tourist exclaimed, eyes wide with admiration. Mia wasn't just pouring coffee, she was pouring her heart. As she skillfully navigated between languages, the room seemed to hold its breath. The grins spread, laughter mingled with tears, and that moment crystallized into something beautiful. A fellow diner caught it all on their phone, capturing the connection that moved everyone. Little did Mia know, this slice of life would go viral, igniting a national conversation about recognizing hidden talents buried beneath social hierarchies. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Within days, Mia's life transformed. Offers poured in, scholarships, grants, a $50,000 lifeline to study language arts, and escape from the diner's confines and her burdens. But as elation struck, so did tension at home. Her younger brother, Alex, whose laughter used to fill the quiet corners of their home, began to withdraw, his face clouded with resentment. "You think you can just leave us behind?" he blasted one night, fists balled as he confronted Mia after another late shift. Mia felt a sharp pain in her chest, torn between her dreams and the family that needed her. Days turned into sleepless nights, where the joy of a new future warred against the guilt of stepping away from responsibility. Then came the breaking point. As she stood quietly in the kitchen one evening, Mia overheard Alex pleading with their mother, tears stinging his voice, "What if she forgets us?" Those words hit her like a punch. She realized her success risked unraveling the bond they'd fought so hard to maintain. Caught between loyalty and the call of her own dreams, Mia faced an impossible choice. Just as she mustered the courage to talk to Alex, the diner received surprising news: they'd been nominated for a community hero contest. Unbeknownst to Mia, Alex was on the verge of breaking. The potential of their lives colliding with the promise of hope loomed large, ready to change everything. Would Mia muster the strength to chase her dreams without losing her brother? Mia's heart raced, but not from excitement. She stood frozen in the kitchen, the weight of her brother's words wrapping around her like a thick fog. How could she pursue her dream when Alex felt abandoned? The thought gnawed at her insides. She added one more duty to her internal to-do list: find a way to bridge the widening gap between them. The next afternoon at the diner, Mia carried the hope of the community hero contest. The announcement buzzed around the tables like a jolt of electricity. It was a chance for Rosie to gain more recognition, but all Mia could think of was Alex. She needed to talk to him, to share her thoughts, but each time she approached, his eyes turned away, as if her very presence reminded him of unfulfilled promises. "Hey Mia." A cheerful voice broke through her spiraling thoughts. It was Megan, a fellow waitress and friend. "Did you hear? We might not just win the community contest. There's talk of a feature story on TV. This could put Rosie S on the map." "Yeah, that's great," Mia said, forcing a smile. Her heart wasn't in it though. She was more worried about Alex than a contest. As the diner filled with energy, Mia noticed the tourists from days before returning. They took a table near the window, laughing and pointing at a sign that read, "Support your local heroes." That's when a light flickered. Perhaps if their community recognized her effort through the contest, Alex might see her not as someone who wanted to leave but as someone who wanted to uplift them both. "I need to do this," she whispered to herself, determination igniting the passion deep within. Later that evening, filled with purpose, Mia found Alex sprawled across the couch, wrapped in the blanket they used to share during family movie nights. The quiet house seemed heavier than before. "Hey, Alex. Can we talk?" Mia asked softly, taking a seat beside him. He didn't look up, his hands shoved deep into his pockets, but she pressed on. "There's something important going on at the diner. We've been nominated for the hero contest." Alex's head jerked up, surprise etched across his face. "Why does that even matter? It won't change what's happening here. I know it feels that way, but what if we use this opportunity differently? It could be our chance to show how strong we can be together, not apart. They could see us as a family that fought through tough times, not just me trying to escape." Alex remained silent, his expression unreadable. He rubbed his temples as if fighting off a headache. "Please, Alex," Mia continued, her voice trembling. "I don't want to forget or leave you behind. You're a big part of everything I'm trying to do." "Then why do you want to leave?" He shot back, frustration spilling out. "All this might just be a big distraction for you." Mia felt her heart sink, his words stinging. "What if, instead of thinking of it as me leaving, we thought of it as me bringing us along? With this contest, I can help us both. I want to make a life for us, to show everyone our strength, our story." As she spoke, she could see a flicker of understanding in Alex's eyes. Maybe she was getting through, just a little. "I don't want to lose you," he finally said, voice low. Mia reached out, her hand resting on his shoulder. "You won tea. But I need your support. I can't fight for our future alone." A moment passed, filled with unspoken words. Just then, the door to the diner swung open, and a crowd of locals poured in, excitement bursting through the threshold. They were here to celebrate Rosie's nomination and perhaps to rally behind their neighborhood's hero. Mia exchanged a knowing glance with Alex, realizing they could face this together. "Together?" Alex asked quietly, searching her eyes for reassurance. "Yes, together." But just as Mia took a deep breath, letting hope blossom between them, a familiar face stepped inside the very person responsible for pushing Mia into the spotlight. Would this arrival strengthen their resolve or pull them apart? Mia's heart dropped when she saw the newcomer. It was Lily, a charismatic journalist known for uncovering the hidden stories behind ordinary lives. She burst into the diner, her camera swinging at her side, like a beacon of attention. "Guess who's here to cover the hero contest?" Lily announced, her voice bright and lively. The chatter in the diner faded as eyes turned toward her. It was as if all the energy in the room shifted to focus on her. Mia's throat felt dry, and she could sense Alex's tense posture beside her. The glimmer of hope she felt moments ago faded, replaced by a simmering anxiety. Lily's presence could easily amplify everything, showcasing Mia's hopes, but also her doubts, right under the spotlight. "Hey, everyone. I need stories of heroism and courage for my piece, Lily continued, weaving between tables. As she moved toward Mia and Alex, the air thickened with anticipation. Mia took a small step backward, instinctively wanting to blend into the wooden paneling of the diner. I can't really talk right now, Mia stammered, watching Lily's enthusiastic demeanor, feeling the weight of her own uncertainty pressing down. But Lily wasn't deterred. She smiled at them both, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. Come on. You both have something special to share. I saw the sign outside this place is full of heroes. Alex's gaze swung to Mia. Was he prepared for what this meant? They were standing on the edge of a cliff, and the community was waiting for them to leap together. Maybe you could share the story of how Rosie has been a lifeline for you too, Lily suggested, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath Mia's surface. A story of connection, of family. I know there's a deep narrative here. Mia's heart raced. Could she really do this? A part of her wanted to dive into it, the thrill of being seen, of showcasing their struggles and triumphs. But the other part kept whispering the fear that it could all backfire. Lily, she began, feeling the pressure rising. But the clatter of footsteps drew her attention, and she turned to find a group of locals gathering nearby. They waited for Lily, eager to share their own stories. See? Lily said, her voice layered with excitement. Look at how they're responding. You both could inspire so many. Suddenly, a wave of confidence washed over Mia. She thought of the community behind her, the faces she'd seen rallying around Rosie's. Maybe this was the push they needed. Okay, yeah. Maybe you're right, Mia said, her voice stronger than she felt. We can talk. Alex's expression softened, and for the first time, he seemed to be on board. The shadows of doubt faded slightly from his eyes. Lily grinned widely. Perfect. Let us step outside for a moment. I want to get a few shots with the sunset in the background. It'll add real flavor to your story. As they walked toward the door, Mia felt Alex squeeze her hand lightly. This was their moment to showcase their journey, to share their dreams and solidify their bond in front of the community. But just as they stepped outside, the sky seemed to darken, and the excitement in Mia's chest turned to a knot of anxiety. There beneath the golden glow of the setting sun stood a familiar figure, Mark, the diner's previous owner. He had turned storms of support into an avalanche of accusation the last time they had met. Look who decided to show up, Mark said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Every word echoed with the history of their unresolved past. Mia felt the clamoring crowd behind her fade as she faced the confrontation. Would this moment break them or help them rise to the occasion? Here we go, Alex murmured, tightening his grip on her hand. Mia took a deep breath, hoping she was ready for whatever came next. The weight of the moment pressed against her chest, and she felt her resolve like steel. Can they withstand Mark's bitterness? Would this moment breathe fresh life into their harmony, or would it splinter under pressure? Mia felt her heart race as she faced Mark. His presence was like a sudden chill sweeping through the warmth of a summer day. The crowd behind her held their breath, and for an instant, time itself stood still. Mark, Mia said, her voice steadier than she felt. She held her ground, refusing to let his sarcasm chip away at her newfound confidence. What are you doing here? Just passing by, he replied, a smirk on his face. Thought I'd see how my old place is holding up. Looks like it's all turned into a little show and tell. Alex's grip tightened around Mia's hand. She could feel the heat radiating from him, the tension simmering there, ready to boil over. The crowd's curiosity was palpable, and she felt the weight of their expectation pressing down on her. Mia, seriously? You think you can just turn this place into some kind of community hero spot? Mark taunted, gesturing at the diner. You're not really equipped for this. Everyone knows it. You're just faking it for the camera. Mia swallowed hard, the lump in her throat feeling more like a boulder. Lily stood off to the side, her camera poised but silent, sensing the moment's gravity. "We're not faking it," Mia replied, her voice rising with conviction. "This diner has brought people together. It's about love, hope, and support. We're building something real here, and people know that." The crowd murmured in agreement. She could see familiar faces nodding, lit with determination. Mark's sneer faltered slightly, replaced with a flicker of uncertainty. "Real?" he scoffed, but Mia could hear the hint of defensiveness. "And what do you think will happen when the reality hits? When the bills pile up and the charm wears off?" Drawing a deep breath, Mia looked at Alex, who was watching her intently. She felt the rush of adrenaline mixed with clarity. This wasn't just about her, it was about everyone who believed in Rosie and their shared dream. "Maybe the charm won't wear off," Mia said, her voice clear and resonating with authenticity. "Maybe people need a little hope in their lives, something to believe in. We're not just surviving, we're thriving together." The crowd erupted in applause, the sound washing over her like a warm wave. For a moment, the tension broke, replaced by a surge of unity and strength. Mark's eyes darkened. "This isn't over," he warned, his voice cold. "Maybe not," Mia replied boldly. "But today, we're taking a step forward. And I want to let you bring that darkness here." With that, she turned to the crowd, the smiles and encouragement fueling her courage. "We're here to share our story, to show what we've built. And that includes all of you." Lily now stepped in, her camera clicking excitedly. "This is the heart of the community. Let us capture this moment." For the first time in what felt like forever, Mia allowed herself to embrace the joy building around her. She stood tall, her fears overshadowed by the collective strength of those gathered. But just as the laughter and good spirits began to spread, a voice rang through the crowd, a voice that sent a jolt through Mia. "Hey, everyone. I think you'll want to hear this." The crowd parted as a local came forward, a worried look etched on their face, holding an envelope. "What is it?" Mia called out, pulse quickening again. The local opened the envelope slowly, revealing something that could turn everything upside down. "Mia, you might want to see this. How would this new twist challenge Mia and the community's hope? Would it shatter their dreams or ignite a fire of resilience?" Mia's heart raced as she stepped forward, instinct pulling her closer to the local holding the envelope. The crowd went silent, anticipation hanging thick in the air. The local's face was a mix of urgency and fear, and Mia could feel their anxious energy sweeping through the gathered friends and supporters. "What's in the envelope?" Mia asked, her voice steady despite the knot twisting in her stomach. The local uncrumpled the letter inside, eyes darting around the crowd before settling on her. "It's about the diner, Mia. Something big. You should read it." Mia reached for the letter, her fingers trembling slightly. As she pulled it from the local's hands, she didn't notice Alex inching closer, ready to support her should she need it. She unfolded the letter, and her eyes scanned the words, each line twisting her gut tighter. "It says here there's been a complaint." Her voice got stuck in her throat, the words tasting bitter. "A city official claims Rosie is operating without the necessary permits for a diner. They're threatening a shutdown if we don't rectify it immediately." Gasps erupted from the crowd. Mia felt her heart drop like a stone. She searched their faces, hoping to find a look of solidarity, but despair weighed heavy in the space between them. "This can't be right," Lily exclaimed, her camera forgotten in her hand. "We've done everything by the book. You fought too hard, Mia." Mia felt the warmth of Alex's hand on her back, a silent promise that they would face this together. "They can't just take this from us," Mia whispered, barely able to think through the storm of emotions swirling within her. Mark's smug face crept back into her mind, the way he thrived on the chaos he created. "He wanted us to fail," she thought, fresh anger bubbling up inside her. "What do we do?" Someone shouted from the back, the collective worry echoing through the crowd. But just as Mia was about to answer, another thought ignited within her, a spark that lit up her resolve. She remembered the purpose behind Rosie's, the countless hours spent dreaming and building this community with love. She couldn't let fear win. Okay. We're not just going to stand here and let this happen. She called out, her voice ringing with authority once again. We'll organize. We'll fight back. We won't let some bureaucrat come in and shut us down without a fight. A wave of energy washed through the crowd, their spirits lifted by her words. She saw heads nodding, determination setting in as people rallied to her side. We'll get the right permits. We'll show them how much this diner means to all of us. The crowd erupted into conversation, a hopeful buzz replacing the air of dread. Ideas began bouncing around like popcorn, loud and excited. Mia felt relief wash over her, and just like that, the storm within her began to calm. Let us have a meeting. Call the town hall. Gather everyone's stories about how Rosie's has impacted their lives. We will make a case for our diner. With every suggestion, Mia felt lighter. But in the back of her mind, a nagging worry lingered. Time was running out, and Mark was still lurking around. They needed to act fast before the weight of his words became reality. Suddenly, a voice cut through the crowd again, a local business owner, eyes wide as if they had just made an important connection. Wait. I remember hearing about a program that helps small businesses. We might be able to get assistance in dealing with the permits. I can look into it. Mia's heart surged. Hope flickered amid the uncertainty. Then let us do it. We can turn this around. Together, as one community. But just as Mia felt that collective strength beginning to take shape, a figure appeared on the periphery of the crowd. Dark and imposing, it was Mark, who stood watching with an unreadable expression. Looks like your little fantasy might unravel, Mia, he called out, a hint of menace lacing his voice. Mia's breath quickened. What was Mark really after, and how far would he go to pull them down? She was ready to uncover the truth behind his threats, but what she didn't expect was how deep the roots of this fight would go. Mia's heart raced, adrenaline pushing her forward even as doubt tangled in her mind. Mark's presence wasn't just an annoyance, it felt like a storm cloud hanging over the passionate gathering of supporters. The crowd, a lively mix of familiar faces, shifted uneasily. Anxiety creased foreheads, and whispers flitted among them like restless butterflies. Don't listen to him, Alex murmured, squeezing Mia's shoulder gently. We've got this. You've got this. But Mia's eyes didn't leave Mark. He smirked, his arms crossed defiantly, a predator observing the chaos he had set in motion. What would you know about running a business, Mia? You're just a waitress. Her blood boiled at his words, the insult igniting something fierce within her. I'm more than just a waitress, she shot back, surprising even herself with how steady her voice remained. I'm a part of this community, and they're not going to let you tear us apart. Mark feigned laughter, dismissive and cold. Oh, really? Because it looks like you'll be forced to close your little diner before long. And I can't wait to watch. Suddenly, Mia felt a surge of solidarity from the crowd at her back. We're not just a diner, someone called out. We're a family. Others joined in, echoing the sentiment, their voices a powerful wave of defiance against Mark's darkness. The memories of laughter shared over pancakes, late-night talks over coffee, and connections made within those diner walls flooded her mind. Mia took a breath, grounding herself. We need to unite. This is our home, and we won't let it slip away. Her voice grew stronger, a jolt of energy coursing through her. She looked around, meeting the eyes of her friends. Lily, can you set up that meeting at town hall? And I want everyone to share what Rosie's means to them. Every story matters. Lily nodded, heartened by Mia's resolve, pulling out her phone to make calls. "Count me in," shouted a retired teacher from the crowd. "I'll write letters to the city officials. I can gather signatures. We can make a petition." Another added. As ideas flew, the weight of dread began to lift. For the first time, Mia could see a real chance to save what they all loved. Each moment felt like a piece of the puzzle fitting together, and as chatter filled the air with hope, her confidence soared. But then Mark's voice sliced through heavy and bitter. "Pathetic." His scorn stung like venom. "You think your voices matter? None of this will change the decision-makers. Face it, Mia. You're fighting against the tide." Mia squared her shoulders, refusing to let his words dampen the fire inside her. "Tides may rise and fall, Mark, but the heart of this community won't be washed away." A silence fell. It was a challenge, one Mia felt echo fiercely against the backdrop of fear. Mark seemed taken aback, but only for a moment. "Good luck with that," he sneered before backing away, confidence slipping as he turned to leave. But Mia knew it wasn't over. Not by a long shot. As the crowd revitalized, she turned back to her supporters. "Everyone, we meet at Rosie's tomorrow. We will strategize, learn what we can, and show them that Rosie's is irreplaceable." The cheers from the crowd were electric, a tidal wave of hope breaking against the shores of doubt. Yet, even as people celebrated their collectiveness, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that Mark's threat was just the beginning. There was something darker lurking beneath his words, an undercurrent she hadn't yet grasped. What was he really planning, and who truly controlled Rosie's fate? Those questions clung to her as they dispersed, leaving her alone momentarily with her swirling thoughts. The strength she felt in her bones was matched only by the weight of uncertainty that pressed against her heart. As the last of the crowd dribbled away, Mia sensed she had mere hours before she'd need to stand strong again. The real fight was just beginning, and she wasn't sure if she was ready. But there was one thing she knew: she would do anything to protect her diner and the community that wrapped around it. The stakes were high, and the truth was out there waiting, just beyond the horizon. What would her next move be? And would it be enough to unearth the secrets Mark was keeping? Mia stared at the empty diner, her heart still racing from the confrontation. The joy of the crowd's support was tinged with uncertainty. She needed to breathe, to think clearly. Every inch of the diner felt etched with memories, laughter, warmth, late-night secrets shared over greasy plates. It was more than just a business, it was a lifeline for many. She flipped the sign to closed, locking the door behind her. The clatter of dishes from the kitchen echoed in the background, a comforting reminder of home. But that comfort felt fragile right now. "Mia?" Lily's voice broke through, and Mia turned to see her friend re-entering the diner, a determined look on her face. "Did you call everyone?" Mia asked, urgency threading her words. "Yeah. They'll all be at Rosie's tomorrow," Lily replied. "But I think we need to dig deeper. Mark's been around too long, and I can't shake the feeling that there's more to his plans." An unease settled in Mia's stomach. "You're right. But how do we find out? We're not even sure what we're up against." With a nerve deep inside her, she hesitated before sharing her next thought. "What if we look into his background? Maybe there's something we can find that'll help us understand what he's really after." Lily nodded, her eyes sparkling with a mix of mischief and optimism. "I can go on social media. Maybe someone out there knows something. And if I can dig up old news articles or public records, it could lead us to more." Mia's chest swelled with hope. "Yes. That's a great start. I'll check in with the regulars. Some of them might have useful connections." They spent the next hour brainstorming, gathering information, piecing together a plan. A fire ignited within Mia, and she finally felt like the owner of her future. Just as they wrapped up, her phone buzzed with a message from Alex. "Can we meet? Need to discuss how we can help." Mia felt a rush of gratitude. They were not alone in this fight. The next day, the diner was abuzz with energy as the supporters gathered for their meeting. Mia took a deep breath, trying to calm her shaking hands. Her heart felt as though it was beating in time with the chatter of the crowd. Faces filled with determination looked back at her, each one carrying the weight of shared memories and a vision for the future. "Thank you all for being here," Mia began, voice steady. "Today, we need to strategize. But more than that, we need stories. I want each of you to share what Rosie S means to you. We need to show the city that this place isn't just a diner, it's our lifeblood." As the stories flowed, she listened, tears pricking her eyes. Old friendships, first dates, even reunions all unfolded in those moments, reminding her of the love and connection Rosie S nurtured within its walls. Suddenly, the door swung open with a creak, and a group of newcomers entered. Mia's heart sank as she recognized a few of them. They were investors, the kind who typically viewed businesses as collateral rather than communities. Mark emerged behind them, a satisfied smirk outlining his face. "Oh, look who we have here," he bellowed, sweeping his gaze over the room. "A little community meeting? Charming. But don't you worry. The city doesn't want your memories, Mia. They want cold hard cash." Mia's mind raced. This was the moment she'd have to show her true strength. "Everyone, we stand together," she shouted, feeling the warmth of shared resolve from those around her. Rosie S represents hope. Hope isn't something that dies easily. But as she spoke, Mark's expression shifted, revealing a hint of something darker, a manipulative gleam in his eye. "What are you planning, Mark?" she demanded, feeling her pulse quickening with each passing second. "I'm just getting started," he replied, his voice low and threatening. Mia's heart pounded. What was he scheming? Was there more to fear than his presence? As whispers of uncertainty rose, she knew the battle was far from over. And now, Mia was more determined than ever to uncover the truth. The clock was ticking, the stakes rising. What secrets would she uncover next? How could she protect not just her diner, but the very spirit of their community? The atmosphere in Rosie's diner shifted, palpable and electric. Mia felt the weight of Mark's gaze, like a shadow creeping into her heart. She glanced around at the faces of her friends and supporters. There was fear, but also fierce determination. They were all in this together, and she couldn't let Mark destroy their legacy. "Listen up," Mia called out, raising her voice to drown out the tension. "We need to keep our focus. This diner isn't just a business, it's an extension of who we are. And we won't let someone like Mark take that away from us." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Mia felt emboldened. One by one, her friends started to share more stories, recounting moments that brought tears to their eyes and smiles to their faces. "Rosie's is where I met my best friend," one woman said. "It's where families gather for Sunday brunch. It's just everything." Another man chimed in, voice thick with emotion. "My dad used to bring me here every Saturday. We'd share pancakes and talk about life. I'll be damned if I let some suit come in here and ruin that." Tears streamed down Mia's cheeks as the collective love pulsed through the diner. The stories felt like fuel, igniting a burning desire to preserve what was dear to them all. Then, she caught sight of Lily at the back, her fingers dancing over her phone as she texted furiously. After a moment, Lily caught Mia's eye and nodded, a glimmer of excitement lighting her expression. Mark's voice cut through the growing sentiment like glass shattering. "These tales are sweet, but this is business. You'll need a miracle to stop what's coming." Mia swallowed hard, meeting his challenging stare. "Maybe that miracle is right here, in this room." In that moment, Mia's mind raced towards the possibilities. She remembered what they had talked about the night before. They'd have to get creative, find ways to engage the community and the city more deeply. Everyone, let us brainstorm ways to turn these stories into action. She declared, her voice ringing with conviction. We can host events, raise funds, show our rallying spirit. The crowd erupted into lively discussions, ideas bouncing back and forth like a game of hot potato. The younger crowd suggested social media campaigns while the older folks brought up community events, bake sales, and even a potential concert in the parking lot. As laughter and shouts of excitement filled the diner, a sense of unity enveloped them. Mia couldn't help but feel a warmth spreading in her chest, lifting her spirit. But just then, a loud crash interrupted the revelry. The group turned as the window shattered, glass cascading to the floor. Mark leaned casually against the doorframe, arms crossed, a mocking smile creeping onto his lips. Nice plan, Mia, he sneered. But it's too late to change your fate. You think they'll rally behind you? They'll see this for what it is, a desperate act. Heart racing, Mia stepped away from the crowd, meeting Mark's eye steadfastly. We're not running or hiding. These memories, this community, it matters. And we will fight for what's ours. The crowd murmured again, emboldened by Mia's courage. But deep within her, unease twisted like a vine. Mark's smirk hinted at a threat lurking beneath the surface. Determined, she pulled Lily closer, whispering hurriedly. Did you find anything? About Mark? Lily nodded, her voice urgent. I think he's been buying up properties around town. He has bigger plans than just Rosie's. Mia's world tilted. There it was, the truth they were searching for, a reason behind Mark's relentless pursuit. A sense of urgency pressed on her. If he were amassing power physically, they would have to retaliate with heart. Her heart raced again, this time with purpose. How could they turn the tide, find a way to amplify their voices even louder? As the crowd started to gather around Mia again, the urgency simmered beneath their excitement. She felt it, possibilities stirring. But what hidden talents were waiting to be revealed? If they could merge their stories into a powerful force, perhaps they could outsmart Mark. After all, the challenge loomed ahead, and Mia steeled herself. Would they be able to uncover the truth in time? Or would Mark's influence unravel their dreams? Mia's resolve solidified as she faced the crowd. The warmth they shared fueled her determination, but time was ticking. She could feel it in the air, a pulse whispering that if they didn't act quickly, it could all slip away. Okay, everyone, she said, raising her hands to get their attention. We need to mobilize. If Mark thinks this is just a desperate act, we need to show him how wrong he is. Let us unite our stories, our passion, our skills. What can we do? Lily stepped forward, her cherubic face alight with an idea. What if we set up a crowdfunding campaign? People love this diner, they care about us. If we could just pitch it right, we might get the resources we need. Excited whispers echoed the suggestion. Mia nodded, heart racing as possibilities sprouted in her mind. Yes. Let us make this campaign about community strength. Each one of us has something special to offer. We can offer rewards for each donation, perhaps a personal thank you or even a meal on the house for larger pledges. More ideas flowed into the room. A local musician volunteered to host a concert. Someone else brought up organizing a community cook-off, with all proceeds going toward the diner. The energy surged, filling the diner with a sense of purpose. But in the back of her mind, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that Mark was still watching, waiting for them to falter. His chilling sneer lingered like a cloud overhead, blocking the newfound light. Suddenly, she remembered Lily's words about Mark's property acquisition. Wait, Mia called, her voice steadying the crowd. What if we turn the tables? If Mark is trying to control the town, let us show him we won't back down. Let us reach out to the other small businesses he has threatened. We need to team up. The room erupted in applause, and Mia felt a rush of hope. They could be a network, a force against the looming threat. With every voice that rose, every hand that shot up to volunteer, she sensed they were building something larger than just a campaign. They were forging a movement. "Lily, could you look into other businesses?" Mia asked, her heart swelling with pride. "We need to get them on board. If he's chasing us, then he's chasing them too." Lily nodded vigorously, fingers flying over her phone once again, sending messages and gathering support. As the crowd started sharing their ideas, Mia felt the diner's walls closing in on her. The laughter and chatter felt like armor against a world outside. But a looming dread inched back into her mind. What if Mark's next move was something even more threatening? What if he could crush everything they were building in one swift blow? Time passed, and Mia found herself stepping away from the whirlwind of activity for a moment of clarity. She caught sight of Mark standing outside, still smirking, a picture of arrogance. Then, from the corner of her eye, she saw a familiar face, a college friend she hadn't seen in years. It was Ben, a tech wizard, noted for his innovative projects. "Mia. I heard what's going on. I might have a way to help." Her heart leaped at the unexpected reunion. "Ben. You remember Rosie's, right?" "Of course. Best burgers ever," he laughed. "Listen, I can help you set up a social media campaign that will blow up. We need to showcase your diner, the stories, the community spirit." He pulled out his laptop, and that simple gesture sparked inspiration in Mia. "Yes. We can share videos, interviews, showcase the cooking battles, the heart of Rosie's. We'll make it go viral." As they gathered around Ben's laptop and began brainstorming, excitement crackled through the air like fireworks. This was at the moment they would harness their collective power to push back against Mark. But then, a foreboding feeling nagged at Mia again. If she played all her cards, what might Mark do in retaliation? What would happen if their efforts attracted his ire? The laughter and chatter around her bloomed into a haze of determination, but with every idea expressed, the shadow of Mark loomed larger, darker. Could this newfound plan be the lifeline they needed? Or would it merely provoke a more dangerous threat, one that spiraled out of control? With urgency rising in her gut, Mia looked at the faces surrounding her, united and hopeful. They couldn't give in, they wouldn't. But what might be lurking around the next corner? Mia took a deep breath, willing herself to focus. The excitement buzzing in the diner felt like a live wire, and the crowd was alive with determination. Together, they brought an energy that felt electric, pushing back against the darkness Mark represented. She rallied everyone around Ben's laptop, ready to seize the moment. "All right, we need to get this campaign rolling," Mia said, her heart racing with adrenaline. "Let us create a series of videos showing our stories. We need everyone to step up and share what Rosie's means to them." The crowd erupted in cheers, and faces sparkled with motivation. People jumped up, ready to grab their phones and record heartfelt messages. Laughter bounced off the walls, mingling with the aroma of coffee and fresh pastries. As Mia stood in front of the camera, she could feel Alex's eyes on her. "Hey, you guys. I just wanted to say this diner is more than just a place to eat. It's a meeting ground for our community, our stories, and our dreams. We can't let anyone take that away from us." Cheers erupted as she finished, resonating within the very heart of Rosie's. Each person that stepped forward, sharing their own memories and experiences, made the tape stronger, a patchwork of resilience woven together. But as the energy escalated, a shiver ran down her spine. What if Mark got wind of their plans? What if he tried to sabotage their efforts? Her positive energy flickered as whispered concerns echoed in her mind. "Okay, guys," Mia decided, trying to shake off her anxiety. "Let us not just build this campaign, we need a plan to protect it." Lily raised her hand, eyes bright. "We can create a security team. Just in case Mark tries to disrupt our efforts, we'll have eyes in every corner." Mia nodded, heart pounding at the thought of Mark trying to undermine their progress. They needed to stay one step ahead. There's power in our numbers, Mia clarified, looking around the room. Let us talk to other businesses, not just about getting support for our campaign but organizing a solidarity rally. If we turn out with a big crowd, there's no way the city can ignore us. Excitement raced through the room. Ideas ignited conversations everywhere. As conversations flowed, the sound of sizzling pans from the kitchen became a comforting rhythm, grounding Mia amid her surging emotions. But just then, something pulled Mia's attention towards the diner window. She caught sight of Mark, lurking outside like a storm cloud. His presence tainted the vibrancy inside Rosie's, and anger swirled within her. You think we're going to let you intimidate us? Mia said aloud, her disbelief palpable. Let us show him what we can do. The chatter began to diminish as Mark sauntered toward the diner entrance, his expression smug. He leaned casually against the doorframe, as if he owned the space. So cute, Mia, he taunted, a cruel smile twisting his lips. You think you can overpower the city with feel-good stories? You might want to wake up. It's a business, not a therapy session. Mia's heart sank, but as she felt the reassuring presence of her friends around her, she stood tall. You're wrong, Mark. This isn't just a business. It's family, love, and community as powerful as the most profitable enterprise. The crowd stirred behind her, emboldened by her words. Before Mark could respond, a commotion erupted in the back of the diner. A local business owner stood up, furious and filled with passion. This isn't just about Rosie's. Mark has been a thorn in our side for too long. He's buying every small business he can find, pushing us out for profit. Gasps filled the air, their murmurs morphing from disbelief to determination. Mia felt hope surge within her. It was more than just a fight for Rosie's, it was a stand against the disregard for community ties. Let us unite, Mia shouted, her voice rising above the unrest. Let us expose Mark's game. This isn't just about one diner, it's a fight for every local business that gives our town character. The force behind her words rippled through the crowd, awakening the spirit of solidarity. Conversations intensified, ideas pooled like stories in a pot. This was at the moment they could overpower fear with unity. As Mark slid out of the diner, sulking backward, a sense of relief washed over Mia. But they knew he would return. Let us connect with other businesses, Mia urged, feeling urgency swell in her chest. Together, we can amplify every voice, every story, until the city understands how vital we truly are. Days melted into weeks as Mia meticulously led their charge, rallying every business in town. They crafted videos, held meetings, and organized community events that began to draw more supporters than they could have hoped for. Everyone felt a part of something larger, something meaningful. Finally came the day of the rally. The sun hung high in the sky, casting golden light on Rosie's, a sea of community gathered outside, awaiting Mia's call to action. She looked over the crowd, her heart swelling with gratitude. Today, we stand together as a community. This is our love letter to the town, the heartbeat that is Rosie's and every small business that brings authenticity to our lives. We won't let anyone take this from us. Cheers erupted, the ground shaking with collective energy, and Mia felt an overwhelming weight lift from her chest. They had risen from the ashes of doubt, stronger together than she ever could have imagined. In that moment, as time slowed, she saw Alex in the crowd, his eyes shining with pride, and she realized she had not just fought for her dream but strengthened the very bonds that held them together. Just then, the local news reporters pushed through the crowd, eager to cover the uprising of community spirit surrounding Rosie's. The camera lights flashed, and Mia knew this was their moment. As she stood in front of the mic, prepared to share their vision with the world, their fight for community and home became a powerful message that rippled far beyond Rosie's diner. Together, we can rise. She exclaimed, her voice carrying across the landscape of love that had blossomed around them. And at that moment, each voice joined in a chorus of resilience. They weren't just fighting for a diner anymore. This was about forging an unbreakable community, a family, threaded together through hardship and hope. And as the sun dipped on the horizon, Mia felt an unwavering sense of triumph. Their lives, their stories, their community was too precious to lose. This was the beginning, a transformation that would ripple outwards, igniting hope and strength wherever they went. If you believe in the power of community, in standing together against adversity, you need to subscribe right now. Don't miss out on the exclusive stories and transformations we've got lined up for you. Hit that like button now to show your support and fuel this journey. We're creating something special, and we want you in on it. Tell us how this story impacted you. Comment below your reactions and thoughts. And for a true fan moment, share this video with at least 5 friends who need to feel this connection. Don't wait not even one more second. Let us spread the love.